Well, the stock market and Bitcoin aren't the only things that are crashing these days. CNN just had their lowest weekday ratings in 22 years. These days, they're getting just 56,000 viewers in the key demo, the age group that the advertisers prefer, and just 280,000 total viewers. To be fair, their viewership does pick up a little bit during prime time, but even those ratings are collapsing. And let's not forget that CNN Plus got shut down after less than a month because nobody is going to pay to watch CNN. It's certainly no mystery as to why the ratings have dropped. The most recent collapse due to their endless coverage of the January 6th hearings, and despite nobody watching, they are doing their best to try to hype it up as if it's the most important story in the history of America.
There's never been a bigger or more important story in American history than this.
This is the most important story in the history of the Republic.
These January 6th hearings are remarkable. They are riveting.
The hearings last night, they were searing, they were vivid.
It was compelling, it was chilling, the videos were chilling, and I think it's going to be historic.
This was a historic, compelling hearing.
This is very compelling television because it's a very compelling hearing.
And it's compelling, it's must-see TV.
Of course, the entire purpose of this circus is to, well, let me just have CNN explain.
A group of them have to get together. I would love it to be Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger from the committee, or whoever, Liz Cheney and Mitt Romney, and they have to run a different Republican Party in the next election to ensure that Donald Trump never, ever, 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 ever sits in the Oval Office again.
That was 5 never-evers. I didn't loop that. And yeah, Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, and Mitt Romney are going to lead the Republican Party. Liz Cheney is up for re-election come November in the midterms, and nobody, not even her biggest Democrat fans, expect her to win. One of the main topics, of course, is that President Trump hoped that Mike Pence would not certify the electoral votes and send the decision to the state legislatures to decide the outcome. Something, of course, the Democrats and the liberal media industrial complex say was high treason, which is interesting because there were numerous Democrats back in January of 2017 who wanted Joe Biden not to certify President Trump's victory.
I have an objection because 10 of the 29 electoral votes cast by Florida were cast by electors not lawfully certified.
I object to the votes from the state of Wisconsin, which should not be legally certified.
No debate.
Mr. President, I object to the certificate from the state of Georgia on the grounds that the electoral votes were not...
Debate. There's no debate.
And I object to the certificate from the state of North Carolina.
I object to the 15 votes from the state of North Carolina.
I wish to ask, is there one United States senator who will join me in this letter
There
of
is no debate. There is no debate.
And do you remember that celebrity-filled PSA urging the Electoral College not to cast their votes in the way that their states had decided? So far, since I resurfaced Van Jones' old TED Talk last week where he was discussing the strategy of rejecting certification of the electoral votes and sending the decision back to state legislatures, where he said that it was perfectly legal and perfectly constitutional, nobody in the media, nobody in the conservative media, no conservative social media personalities or influencers seem to have noticed. I'm basically like the redheaded stepchild of the conservative movement, and no brand name conservatives care what I have to say, but hopefully at some point somebody will notice the clip and help it go viral and get it trending on Twitter. But hey, what would I know? I'm just the first conservative YouTuber to hit 1 million subscribers in 2017. You can verify that on Social Blade, by the way. Meanwhile, over at MSNBC, they're very upset that the conservative masses are finally waking up to what drag queen story hour is.
Right-wing outrage over things like drag queen reading hours is something we've seen before, but the data you've seen proves it's getting worse.
Yeah, in the last month, we've actually seen this wild and substantial jump in talks about drag queen story hours all throughout the country. In fact, it's 777% more. It sounds like a ridiculous number, but that's what it is over the last month. Since that, as you can see, that jump is right at the start of Pride Month. And that's because, far-right influencers, accounts called things like Libs of TikTok, have pushed these events into the public eye.
Oh, Libs of TikTok shined a light on what they were doing. Of course, certain kinds of people like to work under the cover of darkness because they don't want others to see what they're up to. For at least 5 years now, ever since they started doing Drag Queen Story Hour, myself and others in the independent media have been trying to alert the general public about what it is that they're doing with the children. And back then, maybe we sounded crazy because it was so hard to believe, but We told you so.
All this is a societal wrecking ball to destroy any semblance of normality, any semblance of basic human biology that you see in the bees and you see in the birds. Imagine if somebody in a demon outfit showed up next to a baby giraffe and said, "Hi, I'm a demon. Be inclusive. Don't be mean to me. Let me wear demon horns and come up and look like a complete alien from another planet. Let a space alien," and by the way, this is a program. They dress up like space aliens all over the United States and all over the world. I told you, in horrible demon psychopath outfits that make Pennywise look beautiful. And they show up and they have their way with your children in demon outfits. I mean, if you've got men that look like 400-pound goblin demons with your children, there's nothing you won't put up with. There isn't a species on the planet that would let something that looks like a space alien get up close to its kids, but only in America does it happen, and I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it right now. I can't handle it more now.
And speaking of drag queens, a lot of people think that Brian Stelter is going to get fired after a rumor started going around from somebody who claimed to have a source within CNN that said he has a matter of weeks, if not days, until his show is canceled. But the guy who started the rumor has been wrong about other supposed firings he had a source on. For example, in November last year, he said that Joy Reid's time at MSNBC was coming to an end. Then he doubled down in January and said that she would be fired by mid-spring. But here we are, now officially into summer, and she's still on air every night, airing her black grievances and spewing her anti-whiteism. But Greg Gutfeld has come up with a great reason as to why this probably hasn't happened.
Yeah, Joy Reid has built a foolproof career insurance plan. She has MSNBC so terrified that like they can't fire her because she's just going to call them racist too. She calls everybody racist, and that's her game and that's her scam. And the MSNBC management are cowards for letting her do this, but that's what they chose to do.
That's right. I mean, seriously, Joy Reid is probably literally one of the most racist people in America. And again, every time we're talking about anti-white racism, we really should use the word anti-whiteism to be clear, because people have been wrongfully conditioned when they hear the word racism to automatically think that it's a one-way street. It's something that only white people do to non-white people. People really need to make anti-whiteism part of the public lexicon, especially when talking about CRT, critical race theory. Just call it what it is. It's anti-whiteism. We really should focus on making that term go viral, being a central part of the Ultra MAGA agenda. And if you're on board, order your Ultra MAGA shirt from my online store at markdice.com or click the link in the description below. Or if that's not your style, pick up a Contains Facts and Opinions, some may find offensive shirt, an old-fashioned liberalism finding cure shirt, or any of my awesome designs, all available in a t-shirt, long sleeve, and a hoodie, and a whole bunch of different colors as well. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.